You are wasting an entire wall in your bedroom, and you do not even know it. Most people stick a basic nightstand next to their bed, pile stuff on top of it, and call it a day. But what if that same space could hold everything you want hidden, look like it belongs in a high-end hotel, and cost you less than $50 to build? Today I am going to show you how to build your own floating nightstands with hidden storage, and I am going to be straight with you the whole way through, including the mistakes most DIYers make that turn this project into a nightmare. If you are new here, hit subscribe right now, because on this channel we build real stuff on real budgets, no fluff, no filler. And stick around to the end of this video because I am going to show you a hidden storage trick in the final build step that most tutorials completely skip over. What you are actually building. Before we get into tools and cuts, let me paint the picture. A floating nightstand is a wall-mounted shelf unit that sits right next to your bed at the perfect height. No legs, no floor contact, just clean lines that make your room look bigger and easier to clean. The hidden storage part is what makes this version special. We are building a version with a flip-up lid or a pull-out drawer tucked inside the box, so from the outside it looks like a minimal floating shelf. Open it up and you have got a compartment for your book, charger, reading glasses, whatever you want out of sight. In 2026, this style has exploded in popularity because more people are living in smaller spaces and need to maximize every inch. This design works in studios, small apartments, and regular bedrooms alike. You can build two matching ones for a king bed or one for a smaller setup. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to do it, tools and materials you need. Let us get the shopping list out of the way so you are not stopping mid-build to run to the hardware store. For materials, you need one sheet of 3/4 inch plywood or MDF, your choice of wood stain or paint, with glue, a box of 2-inch pocket screws, sandpaper in 120 and 220 grit, 2 heavy-duty floating shelf brackets rated for at least 50 pounds each, and a piano hinge or 2 small drawer slides depending on which storage style you go with. Optional but recommended. Iron-on edge banding, if you want that clean finished edge without the hassle of routing. For tools, you need a circular saw or a miter saw, a drill and drill bits, a pocket hole jig like the Craig 320, which runs about $30, a measuring tape, a square, and clamps. If you do not own a pocket hole jig yet, this project is a great reason to get one. You will use it on every single woodworking project going forward. Common mistake number 1. Here is the first mistake, and it is the one that kills the most beginner projects before they even get started. People buy full MDF sheets thinking they're getting a deal, and then cannot get them in their car, cannot cut them in their apartment, and end up frustrated before a single screw goes in. Solution: have the sheet cut at the hardware store. Home Depot, Lowe's, most local lumber yards will do rough cuts for free or a small fee. Get your pieces cut down to approximate size at the store, then do your final fine cuts at home. This alone will save you an hour of stress. Planning your dimensions. Measure before you cut. Always. The standard comfortable height for a nightstand surface is somewhere between 24 and 28 inches from the floor, but the real number you want is whatever lines up at the top of your mattress. Measure from your floor to the top of your mattress, and use that as your target height for the top surface of the shelf. Most people skip this and end up with a nightstand that is awkward to reach from bed. For size, a floating nightstand box that is 18 inches wide, 10 inches deep, and 8 inches tall give you a solid surface area and enough internal depth to store meaningful items. If you want a larger storage compartment, go to 12 inches deep, but keep your wall anchor placement in mind, because depth affects leverage on the wall. Now here is where most DIY tutorials online get this completely wrong, and leave you with panels that do not fit together. Because we're using 3/4 inch plywood, we have to account for the wood's thickness, so everything pieces together perfectly. Here is a corrected cut list. 2 side panels at 10 by 6.5 inches. 1 top panel at 18 by 10 inches. 1 bottom panel at 18 by 10 inches. And 1 inner back panel at 16.5 by 6.5 inches. Here is why those numbers matter. Your top and bottom panels run the full 18 inches wide and cap the top and bottom of the box. Your side panels sit between them, so their height is not 8 inches, it is 6.5 inches, because 6.5 inches plus the 3/4 inch top panel plus the 3/4 inch bottom panel equals exactly 8 inches total exterior height. Your back panel then tucks inside all 4 pieces at 16.5 by 6.5 inches. This is standard pocket hole box construction, and when you get this math right, the whole thing goes together cleanly. Get it wrong and nothing lines up. Common mistake number 2. Cutting all your pieces and then discovering they do not square up is the second most common disaster in this build. Before you glue or screw anything, dry fit every panel together. Lay them out, hold them in place, and check every corner with a square. If a panel is even slightly off, fix it before assembly, once with glue is dry. You are dealing with a permanent problem. Take the 5 extra minutes now. Assembly step by step. Start with your 2 side panels and your bottom panel. Apply a thin bead with glue to the bottom edge of each side panel. Then position the bottom panel in place. Here is an important detail most tutorials skip. Drill your pocket holes on the inside faces of the side panels, drilling down into the bottom panel, not up through the bottom. If your pocket holes are on the outside bottom of the shelf, anyone sitting on a low bed or looking up from the floor will see them. Keeping the holes on the inside faces means they are hidden inside the storage compartment where nobody ever looks. Use 2 pocket screws per joint and wipe any glue squeeze out immediately with a damp cloth before it dries. Next, attach the back panel. This is what gives the whole box its rigidity. Glue and screw the back panel into the back edges of both side panels and the bottom panel. Check your corners with a square again right now while the glue is still wet. You can still adjust. Once it dries, you cannot. Now for the top. If you are building a simple fixed top version, attach the top panel the same way you did the bottom, with pocket holes drilled on the inside faces of the side panels drilling up into the top. If you want the flip-top storage lid, here is the correct way to do it, and it is slightly different from what you will see in most tutorials. Do not attach the full top panel with a hinge at the very back edge. If your nightstand is sitting flush against the wall, a lid hinge at the back cannot open because the wall blocks it immediately. Instead, cut your top panel into 2 pieces. A fixed 2-inch strip that runs along the back edge of the box, and a separate 8-inch lid piece that makes up the rest of the top. Attach the fixed strip permanently to the box. Then attach your piano hinge between the fixed strip and the lid. This way the lid pivots away from the wall with full clearance and opens cleanly every time. If you chose the drawer slide option instead, install your drawer slides on the inside bottom of the box before closing it up, then build a simple shallow drawer box from thin plywood. The drawer should be about 1 inch shorter in depth in your box to give it clearance to slide in and out smoothly. Common mistake number 3. This one stings because it happens at the very end. People finish the box beautifully, go to mount on the wall, and either hit a stud in the wrong place or anchor into drywall alone with brackets that cannot handle the weight. Floating nightstands get used every single day. People lean on them, put heavy books on them, set full glasses of water on them. You need real support. Use a stud finder and locate your wall studs. Mark them clearly. Your floating brackets need to hit at least 1 stud each. Ideally 2 if your wall layout allows. If your stud spacing does not line up with your nightstand width, use a French cleat instead of standard brackets. A French cleat is 2 anglewood pieces that interlock, 1 screwed into studs and 1 screwed to the back of your box. It distributes weight across the entire width of the cleat and is honestly stronger than most bracket setups. For a nightstand this size, a cleat running the full 18 inches is the right move. One more detail on the French cleat that nobody mentions. If you attach the cleat piece to the back of your box flush with the back panel, your nightstand is going to stick out from the wall by about 3/4 of an inch. That is fine if you're okay with it. But if you want the box to sit completely flush against the wall, recess your back panel 3/4 of an inch inside the box during assembly. That recess gap is exactly where the wall side cleat sits, and the result looks far more professional and intentional. Sanding and finishing. Sand your assembled box starting with 120 grit to knock down any rough edges and flush up any joints that did not line up perfectly. Then move to 220 grit for the final pass. If you use plywood, apply your edge banding now with an iron on any exposed edges before you stain or paint. Run the banding with a hot iron. Let it cool, then trim the overhang with a sharp utility knife and sand flush. For finish, In 2026, the most popular looks for bedroom furniture are warm natural with stains and honey, walnut and light oak tones, or matte black paint for a more modern minimal look. If you are painting, use a foam roller for a smooth drip-free finish and do 2 thin coats rather than 1 thick one. Let each coat dry fully before the next. If you are staining, apply with a rag. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then wipe off the excess. 1 coat for a lighter look, 2 for a richer tone. Common mistake number 4. People rush the finish and wonder why it looks amateur. The number 1 finishing mistake is applying paint or stain to wood that still has sanding dust on it. After your final sand, wipe the entire box down with a tack cloth or a slightly damp rag and let it dry completely before you open any can of finish. Dust under paint causes texture bumps. Dust under stain causes uneven absorption. 2 minutes of wiping saves the whole finish. Mounting the nightstand. Once your finish is fully dry, it is time to go on the wall. Decide your height, measure up from the floor, and mark a level line. If you are using standard floating shelf brackets, hold each bracket against the wall on your level line. Mark your screw holes, drill into the stud, and secure with screws. Then sit your nightstand box over the brackets. Most floating brackets have a lip that holds the shelf in place. If yours do not, add a small brace inside the box that rests against the bracket to prevent the box from lifting off. If you went the French cleat route, screw the wall piece of the cleat into your studs at the right height. Then hang the box on it. The interlocking angle does all the work. You can lift the box straight off for repositioning, which is a big plus if you ever move or rearrange. Common mistake number 5. Mounting at the wrong height is more common than you would think, and it is an annoying fix once the brackets are in the wall. Before you drill a single hole, sit in your bed in your normal sleeping position and have someone hold the nightstand box at different heights right next to you. What feels natural to reach without having to sit up, mark that height on the wall. This is a step that makes the difference between a nightstand you love every morning and one that slightly annoys you forever. The hidden storage trick most tutorials skip. Here is what I promised you at the top of the video. Most floating nightstand tutorials stop at the flip-top lid and call it done. But here is a small upgrade that adds a second layer of hidden storage with almost no extra work. On the inside bottom of your nightstand box, before you fully close everything up, add a small tray divider made from thin plywood or even a repurposed shallow container. This creates a false bottom effect where your regular items sit in the upper tray and a thinner hidden compartment lives below it. Slide the tray out to access the lower level. It is perfect for keeping valuables, medication, or anything you want truly out of sight. Cost to add this: almost nothing if you have scrap plywood left over from the main build. Final touches and styling. Add a small cabinet pull or knob to your lid or drawer for easy access. For hardware in 2026, matte black pulls on natural wood stain is a combination getting the most traction in bedroom design right now. It is clean, it is modern, and it pairs with almost any existing bedroom color scheme. For styling the top surface, less is more on a floating nightstand. A small lamp, 1 book, and maybe a small plant or a ceramic dish for your rings, and watch is all you need. The whole point of the hidden storage is that the surface stays clean. Let it. What this build actually costs. Using 3/4-inch plywood at current 2026 lumber pricing, you are looking at roughly $20 to $25 for your wood materials if you are cutting 2 nightstands from a single sheet. Add brackets or cleat hardware for another $15 to $20, hinges or drawer slides for about $10, and finishing materials for another $10. Total for a pair of matching nightstands, somewhere between $55 and $75, depending on your finish choice. A comparable look from a furniture retailer right now runs $150 to $300 per nightstand. You are saving real money here. That is the full bill from planning to mounting. Floating nightstand with hidden storage, done right. Make your bedroom feel bigger, function smarter, and look intentional. The mistakes we covered: buying full sheet MDF without a plan, skipping the dry fit, getting the dimension math wrong, under anchoring the wall mount, rushing the finish, and mounting at the wrong height. Those are the things that separate a build you are proud of from one you redo 6 months later. Avoid those, and this project is genuinely straightforward. If you built this, drop a photo in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this video useful, share it with someone who is trying to upgrade their bedroom on a budget. Subscribe if you want more honest DIY builds like this one every week, and I will see you in the next video.